Chapter 16. The Laptop. Whose laptop is that? I wondered aloud. Did someone lend you one from the school? Maybe, swallowed Cat. She looked at me with big eyes. Boo was on the pillow beside her, looking at the screen. He batted at a key on the keyboard. Instant suspicion floated into my mind. Cat was a poor liar. She usually prevaricated badly, or ended up making her answers sound like questions. Who gave it to you? Mrs. Johnson? For a project? Came Cat's reply with a guilty flush of her cheeks. Really? That was very nice of her, I commented, coming into the room and having a seat on Cat's bed. What project is it? Cat shifted uncomfortably. A social studies thing? I'm sure you wouldn't be interested. I think I am very interested, I decided. Why don't you show me what you've been working on? I gestured to the laptop. Now? Gulped Cat. It's not finished. You know how I like to see your work in progress, I cheerily said, steel in my voice. Cat's shoulders slumped, and she turned the screen reluctantly my way. Are those videos? I frowned, looking at the tiny pictures on the screen. There are a lot of them. I'm sorry, apologized Cat. It's not for a social studies project. I didn't get the laptop from Mrs. Johnson. I wasn't about to tell Cat I already knew that. I gave her a sharp look as I pressed play on one of the videos. Then why lie about it? Because you aren't going to be very happy when you hear the truth, mumbled Cat, slouching down against her headboard. She picked up Boo, holding him close. On the screen I saw Dr. Lehman getting home from work. He stowed his briefcase under the hall table and pulled off his tie. Going to the kitchen, he grabbed a bottle of wine from his wine fridge. Lehman had a nice house, I reflected. There was a knock at the kitchen door, and Dr. Lehman pulled out 2 glasses as Maisie Alderson stepped inside. The two shared a passionate kiss, and I quickly paused the video, a little shocked at what I had just seen. Whose computer is this? Cat slumped down even further. Her eyes didn't meet mine as she muttered, Carl's. What? The word may have been uttered a little sharper than I intended, but I was just so gobsmacked. How do you have Carl's computer? Promise you won't be mad? Whispered Cat. No, I told her. I can't promise that. Well, I took the extra key and went into Carl's apartment. When I was looking around, I found the laptop, shrugged Cat. What extra key? I wondered. I gave the extra key to Officer Pesky. There was a third one on the key hook by the door, supplied Cat. You should know that. You were worried about losing your key, so you made an extra. I closed my eyes and rubbed my forehead for a moment. How did you manage to find a laptop that several police officers couldn't even find? It was hidden under the floorboards. There's a slit in the carpet, and Carl made a little door. He had the computer and a few memory backup devices in there. Cat's solemn eyes that met mine. Video takes a lot of space. When did you do this? I questioned. You had no time today to be breaking into apartments, going through police tape, and magically finding missing computers. Before my paper route? Murmured Cat. I got up really early. Cat, I told you to leave this alone. That you didn't need to get involved. I looked at her in disappointment. Pete Pesky said they were going to arrest you. I couldn't let that happen, emphatically stated Cat. And I did find the missing laptop. Now we have all sorts of other suspects who have motives to get rid of Carl. He was blackmailing half the town. Your fingerprints are on the laptop, I exclaimed. So are mine. Don't you think that would look suspicious to the police? Well, Cat's voice trailed away as the realization struck in that she might have really messed up. They aren't going to think that I killed Carl, are they? Bryden and my fingerprints are on the drink bottle, too. No, honey, they aren't going to think that you killed Carl. I sighed tiredly. Maybe we can wipe off our prints and somehow anonymously give the laptop and backup devices to the police. Then they can sort out the mess." "I guess," reluctantly said Kat. "I don't know what I am going to do with you." I shook my head. "Maybe you need to spend the holidays with Graham and Gramps." "No," pleaded Kat. "They serve tofu with everything. Last time I had to eat a slice of cheesecake for Gramps' birthday that was made out of tofu. It was so gross." "I am going to seriously think about it as your punishment," I warned. "No more investigating." "Fine," muttered Kat. "I mean it," I told her. "I said fine," huffed Kat. "The laptop is proof anyways that Quiet Carl is more like Creepy Carl. Anywhere he did home security services, he set up cameras to record the people in their home. He red flagged files where people were doing stuff they shouldn't. Then if you look at his spreadsheets for his financials, he was blackmailing those people for hundreds of dollars each month, depending what he thought their income was." "That's terrible," I frowned. "You figured that out in just a couple of hours?" "It wasn't hard," shrugged Kat as she petted a purring Boo. "All his programs were open." "The laptop didn't have a password to access it?" I might not be the best at computers, but I knew most laptops required a password or PIN to access any programs. "Brian gave me a password code de-encryptor at school." Kat's voice trailed off as she looked at me apprehensively. I hope you're enjoying One Drops Dead, an Autumn Heights cozy mystery. I have a second novella coming out, hopefully August of 2024, for this series, and it's called 2 Drops of Chaos. Look for it on Amazon.